These low-lift ADHD hacks completely changed my life. I was so depressed, had a hard time doing anything. Then I did these and I ended up Forbes 30 under 30. We launched with Victoria's Secret. And more importantly, my happiness and self-worth went like this. And also our revenue went like this. Okay, apple cider vinegar and green juice in the morning. I know it sounds woo-woo and I thought it was. And then I read a study about how it affects our glucose. This is before I knew I had ADHD. And I started doing this and all of a sudden I was 10 times more focused during the day. What would happen is at 10:30 in the morning, about 2.5 hours after I had my breakfast, my blood sugar and glucose would crash. I'd be so hungry, I couldn't get anything done, and my morning was wasted. I didn't really realize how much of an impact this had, and then I did it every day, and I've done it every day for 3 years, which is crazy, because if I don't do it, I literally have no focus. And so my green juice is not really green juice, it's more of a smoothie, and it's spinach, celery, and lemon. That's it. Put it with a high protein breakfast. Super low lift. Changes the game. Okay, next is no caffeine until 2 hours after I wake up or breakfast. First thing I did for so many years was coffee first thing when I woke up. I loved it. I love coffee. This has majorly improved my mental health. No more anxiety, but also it just also helps with the glucose, I think. Helps with my mental health, helps with my focus, and I really cut back on caffeine. And instead I did little glucose walks after every meal. This actually gives me so much more energy, helps with the digestion. I guess I'm super sensitive to basically everything and didn't know how much it affected my productivity and therefore my self-worth at the end of the day. But when I go for a walk after every meal, 2 minutes, even in my apartment, I just do a little lap, get some motion in there, helps everything digest, and it makes my productivity and my ability to focus, feel good about myself, so much better. I was a work from my bed girl for so many years. And then I got a standing desk and a monitor, which is definitely investment, but it changed my life. I never, ever, ever work from my bed. Keep your bed your sacred place. Desk and monitor are the place where you work. Stop hunching over your little computer and trying to get everything done on a tiny screen. My brain moves 1,000 miles a minute, and to have 2 screens at my laptop and my monitor where I can see everything, my posture's improved, it just allows me to think a little bit more clearly and actually get stuff done. I'm also always looking at 2 Excel sheets or 2 groups of numbers, and it just saves me so much time. On the note of never working from bed, I used to be a pajama girl worker, and now I get dressed into clothing every single morning, work clothing. Doesn't have to be a blazer. Even though I work from home most days, I am always fully dressed. And then I get out of my work clothes as soon as I'm done. I really need to create 2 separate spaces, one for work and one for personal life. Crazily improves my mental health. Last thing is meeting blocks first at the end of the day. That means also doctor's appointments too, if I can help it. Sometimes you can't help it. But when I would have meetings in the middle of the day, which sometimes you can't help, it would just completely deter my focus. I would, especially if it's at like 10:30, my 9 to 10:30 was just rotten. I couldn't do anything. Also, if it's at 2, what do you do in between lunch and that? I could never start a task. Blocking meetings at the beginning and the end of every day helped me have that whole rest of the day to actually get into deep work, get stuff done. They are not that big of things, and they have just transformed how I feel about myself, how I feel about my work, and my work-life balance too.